Hi everyone, made it to Vegas, and I'll get into some specific Vegas videos tomorrow, but just as a quick video tonight, I wanted to share with you my herb garden that I'm keeping in the car. I needed to give it some TLC tonight because it's been in the car for a couple days and there hasn't been much sun. I'm gonna show them to you now and we'll just do a little checking in on them together. So I started growing herbs a couple of months ago, knowing that I was going to try to take them with me on the trip. What I have them here is I planted them in mason jars to keep them kind of small, and I cut the bottoms off water jugs, whoops, and created kind of a greenhouse effect because I knew it was going to be pretty dry, and I also was worried about how cold it was going to get in the car when I'm camping. So what I've brought with me is sweet basil, thyme, parsley, dill, rosemary, and peppermint. And I don't have any drain holes at the bottom of the mason jars, but what I did is I just filled them with rocks about an inch so that the soil could drain and there wouldn't be root rot. I'm really a novice at growing plants at all. So a big thanks to Jen for her encouragement and her knowledge. Thank you, Jen. Wish you were here. I'm learning as we go what to look out for, how much to water, and other things like that. So I potted the seeds in mid-December and put them by a windowsill, which had actually a little crack in it. So I started growing them in winter in El Paso, and it can get fairly cold at night in the 30s. So there were mornings when the jars were pretty cold. And I think that that's what I was going for because I knew that there would be temperature fluctuations when I was on the road. So I thought, you know, if the plants were already used to being hardy and growing in an environment like that with both cold and hot weather, that they stood a chance of making it through this trip with me. And once I realized that I needed to thin them, I have a friend in El Paso, who had some extra pots, and so I tried to replant them and repot the thinnings that I took from my mason jars and give them to him as plants, and some of them really took very well. I think the basil in particular has been growing well for him. And in fact, what I was reading is you can save your pasta water, or if you're boiling or steaming vegetables, you can save that water and use that as kind of a fertilized water for your plants. And so that's another thing that I'll be doing on this trip is if I make pasta, I'll save that water. And so then I don't have to throw it out. I don't have to use that space in my water bucket that I'll be disposing of, but I'll also be fertilizing the herbs and giving them nutrients. And also with this mixture, as I was thinning them and pruning them, I would chop them and just kind of leave them to dry a little bit. And it was a really nice mixture. You know, I didn't try to keep tastes that I thought were, you know, go together. I just put them all into a big bunch, you know, every so often, and would use them as seasonings on different things that I would cook. So let's check in and see how each plant is doing. It's been several days since I've watered any of them, but from what I can tell, the soil is still pretty moist. So I don't think I need to actually water any of them. I think the greenhouse, the water bottle greenhouses, are working their charm. I may need to prune the dill a little bit. See some of the discoloration here. This one's turning as well. Oh, we've got a new little one down here. So the plant is still growing. We have rosemary here. Rosemary, I've read, likes it to be on the drier side actually, and in partial shade, but it seems to be doing okay. And then peppermint, we definitely need to do a little bit of pruning here. We've got some leaves that don't look quite so vibrant. So I'll probably spend some time doing that. But again, just gonna try a little piece. It smells minty. Pepperminty, very good. So overall, I think the plants fared fairly well through their time at the Grand Canyon when I was camping, but also when they spent about 2 days in the car when I was staying at the hotel and when it was snowing and pretty overcast. So if you're wondering whether herbs can make it in the car with you on a long road trip, I'd say possibly. So far they seem to be doing well, and we'll see how they make it through Utah. And with that, I'm gonna head downstairs and meet Chris for a cocktail and start enjoying Vegas. See y'all tomorrow.